Okay, we're on. Okay, so it can feel like a little bit of a tragedy, but really not. So we're just here to remind ourselves to let it go. And as we continue to have those conversations, not only do they feel meaningful, but it's like you want to try something else out. And when you need to try, when you want to try, it's not that you need to, but it's going to feel like you need to. I hope that makes sense. So you need to want to make this try. When you need to want to make something try, what you're really telling yourself, your higher selves, your guides, all that within it is that you're here to just continue to move and make progress the best way that you can. And it could be a feeling like thy shall love thy neighbors. Okay? So here we are in the relationship spread, and we're on position 3. Position 3 reminds us of our present moment. Not only in the present moment are we learning to stay how we think we need to be in some kind of momentum here, right? And so as the energy continues to transform in this season and throughout the rest of the year, we're also beginning to understand like our voice in the public. Okay, so let's take a couple of steps back. So questions to ask yourself in this moment is, how am I going to try that? Right? How am I going to try that? How am I going to continue to recognize what it is that I need to move and make more commitment on, because we tried that already and it seems like it's not working, right? So just remember, when it seems like it's not working, it's always in the divine timing of things. And we have to trust that divine timing. So we just continue to move and we try to make the progress that's beneficial for our movement. So this could be, um, you know, it could be simply reading out loud, reconnecting to something that you used to visualize yourself doing a lot when you were younger. Okay, so this could be like, I don't know why I'm hearing like spirit say the last like 18 years or 8 years, and it's like, really? So somehow, somehow when time changes, we go with the time change, and we're just reminding ourselves that, yeah, that's like a lot of time. And so we're looking at the time and we're asking like the archangels, or we're asking when we're visiting the retreats, like, can you run that past me again? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we can be fruitful wherever we need to be, because those are the divine guidance that we get to commit ourselves to. So when you are manifesting something under these phases of energy, and we're not going to get into like the planets or the phases of the moon right now, because you can go research like some of the old videos that I have in there. But I think it's more of just being deliberate, knowing that the Creator works mightily within us so that we can take time, take those notes on what is it gonna look like? So you're like, oh, I don't know how to ask these questions anymore. Can you help me? Can you show me? Can you feel me? Because right now it's like Tuesday. What's today? It's a lot of movement. We've been through a lot of movement, y'all. We sure have. So anyways, these are like commitments, right? So here are the relationship card in the third position. So we're talking about 3. Okay, so this could be a frequency. This can be a vibration. Not only is how does 3 feel with you? It's like 3. If I had 3 in my hands, it's like 3. There's a lot of movement and commitments in the 3s. Do you understand? And it's like, not only are you equipping yourself, you're being equipped, you're being enabled to focus on. So basically, like, you're here and the universe is like, rock, paper, scissors, maybe? I don't know. You know, it's like you just have to continue to pursue whatever moment. Because it goes hand in hand. Some kind of way it goes hand in hand. So you're stabilizing your equipment, you're stabilizing your voice, you're stabilizing what it is that you want to help make an impact here again too. So this could feel a little, it's definitely high vibrations and high frequencies, but sometimes the chakra doesn't know the moments it wants to be in because it's very familiar with how it regained its momentum. So again, there's a lot of retrogrades right now, remember, so just stay in the position of wherever your higher heart feels more benevolent at this time. So it's like, okay, so there are people who are also going to ask you certain questions, and so now you're just getting ready to work around the clock the best way that you can. And so you take initiative action to rest, eat, role play, work on your goals, work on whatever it is that you do for a living, and you're just going to go with the flow. Okay, you're just going to go with the flow, right? So, I don't know. How do you feel about like jewelry making at this time? Okay, so there's a lot of, I wish I can give you a list of some sisters who are really, they take a lot of time to really help you make jewelry, you know. So I thought, what if you just try to make one piece of jewelry? Try to get into some metal wire wraps with the crystals. Maybe that will help you gain some momentum, and you know, kind of like talk to them. And then sometimes what you can do is you can lay out the crystals in a certain pattern or whatever. You put them wherever you want in the house. It's like now you're just getting rid of any negative energy. You're placing your crystals wherever they need to be. And not only is this your altar work, but it's like now your mantle has all these plants, has all of these things. So you kind of have your space on what's helping you bring more into your gathering space. Okay, so let's get on with this reading. Okay, so we have the records. Remember why you came, be bold, and legacy. And when I think about the ancient stones, of course we bring in our guidance from our ancestors here. And there's a lot of not only is there a lot of like trees with special significance to you. Maybe this is an ancestor who had a certain tree in their yard, and you're very connected to having those conversations in that particular yard, but you also were reminded of the beautiful landscape. So this could be like a landscape scenery where you just feel drawn into, you could feel like grounding here. So you have a meaningful purpose. So the universe is asking you to be bold. There's legacy here, right? And so we tune into the records, which is guiding us with our creative enchantments. And then we realize, okay, there's a lot to be told here. But at the same time, we're asking ourselves, well, how do we start with these kind of conversations? You know, and it's like we just have to let go. We forgive, we let go, we release to the divine what needs to be released. And so now our ancestors are reminding us through these pivotal times, there's a reason you choose to come to this planet at this time in this body. Your time here matters, and you have the opportunity to make something of your life, to make your days, weeks, months, years, and decades count. This card comes with an invitation to remember why you came here to this planet at this time in this body, and to dare to truly live, to create what you came here to create, to love who you came here to love, to do what you truly long to do, to be the boldest, bravest version of yourself, to get busy leaving a legacy by living like you mean it. The ancient standing stones featured on this card were created by the Picts, a group of Celtic tribes who lived in the land of Alba, what is now eastern and northeastern Scotland, from the early Roman era in Britain until roughly the 10th century. The Picts left no written record, but these large stone monuments, carved with elaborate symbols and scattered in the countryside, are their legacy. Too many people live their lives in fear. They dim their light and fail to truly live. They die with music, with poetry that hasn't been written, with songs that haven't been sung. What do you want the legacy of your life to be, when all that's left of your body is ashes and dust? What do you long to be remembered for? If you had to devote your life to just one thing, what would it be? How can you live a little more loudly and proudly? How can you be a little bolder? What legacy are you being called to leave? How can you truly live? So these are all the questions that we ask ourselves sometimes. And in the Ancient Stones activation, you have divine feminine energy reminding you, I'm ready to live my life boldly and sing the song I came here to sing. And that's all. And so it is, and so it be. So you have the records. You have the records. So it could feel like there's a little tower moment, but your guides are helping you cross the street. Okay, so ask your guides. Okay, ask your guides what it is that you need to know at this time when you are feeling these tower moments. So then you ask your guides, whose energy is this? What does this energy feel like? What does this energy remind me of? So you're tapping back into your own sacred space. You're tapping back in to the divine timing. Tapping back into the divine timing. And you mentioned the things that you wanted to try. You've been working on those things that you wanted to try, and so now all you get to do now is to continue to work on that. I heard Spirit saying math, so I don't know. Take it how you hear it. The tower, the raven drifted to sleep where its dream quickly morphed into a hellscape, flames licking the edges of reality, painting the world with their fierce orange glow. The tranquil forest the raven knew so well was being devoured by an insatiable inferno, leaving only charred remains in its wake. The raven's home, a haven nestled amidst lush green, was swallowed by destruction. As the raven took flight, it saw a scattering of the brethren, their dark silhouettes cutting through the smoke, each one seeking safety in a different direction. A feeling of despair crept over the raven as it took in the burning devastation. But then something shifted, even in the depths of this dream-induced catastrophe. A realization dawned upon the bird. It was a harbinger, not just of doom, but of wisdom, too. It acknowledged that this terrifying dream could also be a warning, a premonition of a potential reality. It behooved the raven to prepare, to consider all possible courses of action to ensure the safety of its community. Upheaval. The tower may indicate a sudden, unexpected change or upheaval. This could manifest as a random event that disrupts the stability of your current situations. Chaos and destruction. The tower is also associated with chaos and destruction, symbolizing the dismantling of existing structures, beliefs, or ways of life. This is often a necessary precursor to change and growth, even if it's uncomfortable at this time. Revelation and awakening. The Tower card can symbolize a revelation or sudden realization that changes your understanding of something. This is often a jarring experience but can lead to greater clarity and personal insight in the long run. Release and liberation. The Tower's energy often involves a release or liberation from something that's been holding you back. This can be an oppressive situation, limiting beliefs, or a life that no longer aligns with who you truly are. Purging and cleansing. The Tower card can represent a process of purging or cleansing. While this process can be uncomfortable, it often leads to renewal and transformation. So remember, light workers, you're going through a transformation. So take note. The best thing to do while manifesting and being present as you're talking to Source and your guides is to take notes. Do the best that you can. Know that transformation also includes being with other people. Be with people. Speak. Have conversations for the highest good. It could be in contact with something with teaching or just mindfulness, learning how do I do this move? How do I do this certain kind of therapy? How do I do, like, I'm thinking about getting my Reiki certificate. How do I pursue these things? Like, I really want to help the conversation move forward. How can I be of service? Where is this going to help me? So this is where, we're really living in the greatest times right now. We truly are. And you have to believe that within yourself, because these are not only magical moments, these are your ancestors coming through, and your ancestors coming through, recognizing they hear you do the plays, they hear you play the music, they hear you write the books, they hear you. They're hearing you. They understand. Sometimes it may feel like I just need to be a hermit for like 5 more minutes. But it's like you're being called for action at the same time. And just remember, through these callings, you get to be who you truly want to be. So just know as we go through these transformations, sometimes you want to listen to those dreams, you want to listen to your notes, you want to come into the best way you can be of alignment right now. Okay, so I was holding on to my little oracle. Which one was it? And I said, oh, this feels really good right now. I'm just holding on to this stone and sometimes when we're going through these transformations, there's gonna be a lot of little messages too. So if you feel like you need to hold on to some stones, just hold them softly in your hand. Close your eyes and just imagine you're here right now. You get to have these conversations. You get to have the clarity that you need. And it moves beyond any other wonder. You're having significant understanding and communication with all that you do. So these are the angels of oneness. And so it is, and so it be. Amen. Okay, so angels of oneness, is there, can you give us any raising our vibration, high vibe tools to support our spiritual awakening here? We're using the Kyle Gray book, so is there anything here that you can help us understand with these magical numbers? Okay, so I heard 45. Vibe 45. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels of oneness. I am willing to see this differently. Everyone has a story that they're telling themselves, but whether the story is true is another story. When you begin to raise your vibration, there's a process of undoing. It's like an onion. The sweet spot is at the very core, and to get there you have to peel away all the layers. Within you is that same sweet spot. When you begin your spiritual practice, you begin to peel away all the layers that have built up to protect that spot. In this case, the layers are all the old energies and narratives you've picked up along the way. Narratives that you picked up along the way. They could have started in childhood and more may have come in later through challenging experiences or relationships. These layers are psychic pain that your energy field will begin to release when it knows that it doesn't have to protect itself anymore. As the layers peel away, there are often opportunities to revisit old stagnant energy. And although your current life may be vastly different from your past, the stories may be the same, stories that make you feel that you're not good enough, not lovable, talented, creative, or whatever it may be. Stories that repeat the insulting behavior of people who were hurting you because they were hurting themselves. There's a good chance that right now you're telling yourself a story that isn't true. It could be to do with a relationship with a family member or a partner. You could be telling yourself that they're thinking a specific way about you. You could be telling yourself that they're mad at you or annoyed or resentful. It could be to do with your career. You could be telling yourself you haven't been working hard enough or that your boss doesn't think you're good enough at what you do. These stories may or may not be the truth, but they are what you are telling yourself. It's time to change that. So the vibe of the day is, whenever your ego begins to lead you down a dark path of self-loathing, you can simply set an intention to shift this reality. Every time you're making up a painful story, say, I'm willing to shift my perception. I release all false narratives. I am willing to experience the truth. Thank you, universe, for helping me see this differently. I am willing to see this differently. So we're just willing to see whatever this narrative is differently. And sometimes we just don't even know. We don't even know how to see it differently. But when we ask Source, we start to feel all of this differently. But then we give thanks to the Creator and say, thank you, Creator, for helping me see this differently for the highest good of humanity. All I can understand is the momentum that we bring ourselves to just enjoy the harmony, but at the same time it could feel like a heartbreak too, because we're still trying to gather and commit ourselves to what it is we feel in our heart that we should be doing. And so we kind of meet in the middle sometimes, and we're like, okay, so can we meet in the middle, but at the same time I want to tell you my version. I want to tell you my version. I want to tell you my plans. I want to tell you the love and the passion that I get to do every day. And sometimes you want to put this wall between you and this other narrative because you don't want that narrative to get involved. But remember, there is an inner child in that too. It's your inner child that has grown, that has matured, but at the same time it's letting go. And you continue to just make your progress on however it is that you need to. So I don't know, maybe it's time to take a break from what that narrative you've been telling yourself and start to speak new energies. So like in scripture we say, and we know his mercies are new each day. So Lord, have mercy on me. Show me the way of my heart. Give me a little bit of silence today so that I can get through this moment. Like taking a break. Like I just need to take a break for like 30 minutes or an hour a day so I can rest, see myself through this. Sometimes, working on the go is good, and just remember to take those little breaks throughout the day. So it's just you're creating more of this divine synchronicity, and the universe is saying, okay, I'm going to be there right with you. So share your time with yourself in a divine practice, however way you do it. You're beautiful. You are a beautiful soul that came here to help the collective manifest for the highest good of all creation. And so your words matter. They're powerful. Your words not only are powerful, but they bring more intentions. Not only do they bring more intentions, but you can see how it's just uplifting everything else. So just, try to gain some clarity the best way you can. And this is why I recommended maybe working with some crystals, doing some jewelry, some metal work. Just try it. And if you feel like it's not for you, then you just switch to something else, So there is your stone reading in the third position in the present self. And again, we listen to Raise Your Vibration by the gray with messages from the angels of oneness. Namaste. I hope that you're all doing well. Take care. Take it easy. And know the light be with you. Take care. Mwah.